Aloha, I'm Tehani Gonzalo, Miss Aloha Hula 2000 and a Kumuhula. And I want to welcome you to my workshop for Lei Pua Hinahina. You know, my past Kumuhula have always stressed upon me that if I'm going to choreograph to any mele and the composer is still alive, that it's important to gain their mana'o about the mele so that I can somehow connect to it, you know, in every way, in understanding it, and even in the way that I give motions to the music. So here we have the composer. We're lucky for this composer to still be with us. And his name is Kuana Torres Kahele. I think you guys know him.
Aloha.
Yeah? So can you share with us a little bit about Lei Pua Hinahina, the why first? Why would you write a mele like this?
I wrote this song, if you remember, several years ago when I had my birthday in
right.
Molokai.
Oh yeah, that was a fun trip. We can't tell you all the details though.
But it was composed, inspired after that trip. And you know, all those times we went to the beach.
Lots of fun. Yeah.
A little fun over there, a little fun over here. That was the inspiration behind the mele. And some places we went to visit on that side of the island where Papohaku is.
Right.
And there's also, not too far from Papohaku, is Mo'omomi. And that whole side of the island get hinahina that grows on the beach, yeah. The hinahina at that time was really small, and they were all like rosettes growing all over the rocks like that. It was so pretty.
Now, okay, so you're describing it as a rosette, but some people really don't know what that is. Can you describe that a little bit more? Like, is it, from what I've seen of hinahina, they're kind of like layered, right? They really do mimic like a rose.
It'll depend on at what stage you pick the hinahina. When it first starts coming out, the stem part of the hinahina, because it's a ground cover, yeah?
Right.
And when it first comes out, the stem is really, really short and it's very close to the ground like a blanket. And at that point, when I say rosettes, in the second verse, I say pakahapohe. And what that is if you can imagine like rose flowers, yeah? or a bouquet of roses, and you put them all together in chunks.
Yeah.
And you just kind of put them all like this in a row.
Right.
That's kind of what hinahina looks like. So when they first start growing and coming out as a ground cover, it like blankets the sand and the rocks. Because they were still at the young stage, I couldn't pick them yet. Because if you were to try and pick them, the stem too short for me.
Right. So when is a good time to pick Lei Pua?
You gotta wait till the things start branching out. So when they're all clustered together like that, you just gotta leave them. You gotta look for the ones that when it starts spreading out and it's not tight, like a rosette, where they're all kind of one by one.
Right.
At that point, they have long stems, and then sometimes those rosettes will keep its rose form, and those ones are choice. And some others, they kind of open and they lose the rose and they look more protea-ish.
Oh, I got that. It's like layered petals.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, when I was choreographing the song, I was kind of trying to remember my last memories of hinahina. I don't even know if Molokai is like this anymore, but I remember just, look, you said the hinahina starts on as a ground plant, right? I've seen it pretty high, like waist, chest level. Do they grow like that anymore?
You know, to my knowledge, hinahina has always, and I'm specifically talking about hinahina kukahakai, the one that you find down by the ocean side. It's always been a ground cover, and it depends what it's growing on. Yeah, so, but I've never seen it high, and if I did, it's only because it was growing over something.
That makes sense. Okay, because I was trying to remember, like, I could only see it on the ground, and then a couple of my memories, it was like on a high bush, but you know what? I never thought that maybe there was like mangrove or something that it was growing on top of.
Another thing that's not, you get sea grapes and you get naupaka and pohuehue, all these shrubs that grow makai. And oftentimes areas that get hinahina, the hinahina can, like the kaunaoa.
Right.
The kaunaoa likes to grow through the pohuehue.
That makes sense.
So same too with the hinahina. They don't like to grow by themselves. They're usually found by other plants like the pohuehue or the naupaka, and it might have been a plant that was kind of tall.
Right.
And hinahina went blanket over.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I have to also ask you before we finish, who is the kawahine in the third verse? Who was Jovile? Who was Ho'inana Kalahine? Name her. Or do you even know who she was? Or did you see her from a distance?
No, I know exactly who that person is, and I'm gonna leave it.
You don't even have to say their name, but were were they truly excited to be there at that time?
Yeah, actually, like I mentioned, we were all there as a group, and for some of us, or some of them rather, it was their first time to that beach, and there were, at the time that we went, there were certain structures that was put up on the beach that was left there by a wedding party that happened there just before our arrival. So they left all of this stuff up, and it looked natural, part of the forest, even though there's no forest there. But they had taken all these driftwood, and they had concocted this huge archway, and it was super pretty.
Right.
Really, really pretty.
They used the materials from the land and the beach.
And some of the people in my party were really taken by the beauty of the area, the beauty of the beach, the beauty of the kahakai, and that thing that I had described. And it just moved them.
So I guess this mele was not, I guess I wasn't the ho'inana kawahine because I don't remember that happening. So it wasn't me. I can say that I was hoping it would somehow kind of slide my way, but it was someone else, and she was excited, and I guess, of course, took the trip in and like the rest of us, and had a lot of fun.
A lot of times, the kauna factor, which is the dualistic meaning of the mele, oftentimes it's not for us to share, or we would like to keep it in its hidden form because it was meant for one single person.
And thank you for saying that too, because as much as we press on, talking to the composer and trying to gain mana'o from them, they shouldn't share everything because it's their story and they can't tell us everything. And so I appreciate you saying that because I'm sure a lot of people pressure you to say it all. Who, what, when,
sometimes
where,
they ask,
right?
Why you wrote it? Why you cannot talk? Well, it's because it's a memory for me. It's something that I cherish, and that's my aloha for that person.
Yes.
And it's something that we can connect and share. Just that person and I.
That's awesome.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah. I do want to mahalo you for even writing a song, taking us to Molokai, writing about Hinahina, because that's not often done. And so now we have something of that in our repertoire, right?
Something, yeah, because a lot of times when you say the word Hinahina, everybody think it's the one that grows on the tree.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's not the true
So please,
Hinahina,
never mind. You cannot be doing the Hinahina from the trees because we're talking, we're at the beach side.
What is that? The Spanish moss, yeah.
Not that one.
Yeah, so the real one is called Hinahina Ku, Kahakai, Hinahina for short. And you'll know when you see it. It's on the Makai.
Hey, mahalo, for sharing what you could share. I was hoping I was the kawahine, but I am not. That's okay. Mahalo nui to Kuana for sharing his mana'o on the mele he wrote. It's very important if the composer is alive for you always to connect with that person, to kind of get a glimpse of what they felt and are sharing in the mele. They won't always share it all, but thankful to Kuana as always that he just loves to share. So now we'll feel way more motivated to learn the mele and connect to it. But also don't forget, as a po'ehula or a hula dancer, you have to connect in your own way. Okay, so we're gonna learn the mele, Lei Pua Hinahina, and I'm already thinking of not only the hinahina, but being on Molokai. So with that in mind, we're gonna start Lei Pua Hinahina. Okay, so as always, we start at a cool position with the toe pointed. And there is a kind of a long intro. And the whole purpose of that is to really take you to that beach scene, to take you onto the shore, to smell the air and hear the wind and the sea blowing, okay? So be patient as we're waiting for that intro. On our kaholo, we're going to kaholo on the right. This is our vamp, and we're gonna kaholo ilalo iluna, or down and up on the right side, and down and up on the left side. So let's just start to get the body moving already, thinking very ocean-like, okay? So we're doing a ilalo iluna, 2, ilalo iluna, okay? One on the right, one on the left. Let's just do one more just to kind of fill up the body with all that goodness that Kuana shared, okay? Now this is the tricky part. So you thought that was easy, but the tricky part is the hands for the vamp, okay? Because you're doing kind of an ocean wave, all right? So the left hand is at the chest level, right is above that. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna round out the hands, left, reach out with the right, and lift, okay? So that's going around. So from the side, it looks like this. 1, 2. So you see how that it's having that round movement? That's very important to me because some people do this kind of thing and you don't want that kind of ripples, drowning like feel. You want to enjoy the movement of the wave. 2, 3, lift. And from there, you're actually gonna drop it a little lower and lift. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 with the feet. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Let's try that one more time. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the idea for a faster tempo mele, and this is not too fast, but it moves quite a bit. Stay really light on your feet, okay? And of course, we have the prime example of a happy feel because we're at the beach, okay? So we're gonna start with Auhea Vale Oi. Right after the vamp here, our body is gonna slightly turn to the 45, toes are going to, okay? We're gonna kaholo ilalo. So my step is gonna go toward the right, and I'm gonna do a 1, 2, a 3, and 4. Okay, so if you saw that in my feet, it's kind of doing a semicircle, all right? Now, that's very important to remember circle, because if you don't think circle, you're gonna get very blocky and very stiff in the movement. I want it to be a semicircle that just continuously moves, that even though you're stopping there, the circle continues, okay? So you want that movement, that thought process in your head to remain, okay? So we're doing a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and that's called kaholo holo. So I'm doing a kaholo holo 4 steps on the right at ilalo, iluna, iluna, ilalo. That was a down, up, up, down, okay? From there, you're gonna do lele uehe. My body is gonna stay at this position. I'm gonna lele uehe, left 2 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So a lot of movement there. Making sure we're malie or we're calm when we're doing it. Okay? Let's try that again. And we kaholo holo, kaholo holo. And 2, and think semicircle, and we lele uehe. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? How was that? Too much? I think we're good, okay? Let's try it with the hands now, okay? Auhea vale oi, where are you? Very famous line in many songs. Auhea vale oi, right is at the corner or the angle. Left is at the back angle. And we are gonna auhea vale oi, we're gonna search, where are you? So I do 1, I come to the front, almost like a V, V, and oi, okay? So oi has 2 pointer fingers, very soft. So not this way, it's rude to point, as our mother teaches us, right? But you're pointing that to that direction, real soft hands. And you're doing this, nice lift. You, there you go. And 1, auhea vale oe. Okay, lei, coming into the chest. Okay, it just looks like this from the front, okay, to the chest here. And then the left side of the lei, here. So from the front, it looks like this, all right? So if I wasn't turning my body at an angle, all it's doing is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, simple hand motions so that our feet don't knock us off balance, yeah? Because we want everything to kind of stay controlled, all right? Let's try that and put that all together. Here we go. And 1, auhea vale oe. 1, hina, hina. Good. Okay, moving on. E ani. Ani is to come toward me, come to me. My body is already at a 45. I'm actually going to head to the back 45 with a kaholo. I'm going to go small feet together, left side together, and. So the left side is different from the right side. I don't want you to be confused. And I say that because the right chain moves over to the left and the left stays, okay? So right side is 1, 2, I turn, and the left side I stay and, okay? Let's try it with the hands now. So you're just gonna beckon and say, come to me, okay? So right is at the chest, left is at the 45, and we just softly beckon, okay? And we're gonna follow that with the feet, okay? Makoko. So I do 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Let's try that. And 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. There you go, okay? So putting that all together, okay? I know the brain is getting full, but I promise you, once you hear the music, everything's just gonna fall into place, okay? So let's try, oh, here, I'm looking for you. And 1. Oh, here, vale. Oh, show me your Lei Hinahina. Lei Pua Hinahina. And turning to the left and stay. 2, 3, and. Now, of all the steps, I think maybe this one is going to be the most confusing, but we're going to do it together. Right kaholo, headed to the 45, 1 together, headed to the back 45, 2 together, and I'm going to kaholo to the left with my back facing you, turning around, and uehe. That was the surprise part, okay? So you're going to try that one more time. Ready? Deep breaths. And right together, and left together, uehe. Got that? Okay, because we're gonna do ku'unui kino, to come to my body, towards my body, okay? So my hands are gonna go 1 and 2, and 1, 2, 3. Easy, yeah? Squeeze to the chest, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're gonna do it with the feet and the hands. Here we go, you got this. And we go up, we go chest, we go stay chest and to the front, uehe. That was the whole thing right there, okay? We're gonna try from the beckon so that we can put that all together, okay? Here we go. We go 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, breathing. 1, to the back, to the left, ho'omalie, and uehe. And that's the first verse. Now we just gotta put it all together with the music. You ready for it? Okay, here we go. Deep breaths in, promise me you're breathing, and shake it off. Okay, here we go. Pretend you're on Molokai at the beach looking at all the hinahina. Okay, listen to the music, feel joyful about where you are. Okay, nice and calm, Malie. Here we go from the van. Oh yeah. How are we doing? Oh yeah, hanaho. Right on your feet. Light on your feet, even over here. Make sure you're breathing. Woohoo! That was the first verse. How'd you do? I know you did great. Don't forget, keep yourself malie or calm throughout. All right, so now we can go into the second verse. All right, the second verse, the kahea is nani vale. And the words are nani vale ke ike aku ikapa ka'apohe. So what that's saying is beautiful. So you're standing at that beach, right? You're standing out and you see these beautiful rosettes of hinahina. Now, I'm sure you're thinking rosettes, but it's not a rose. in the sense of that it's very cluster looking. Okay, Kuana shared that with us when we got to speak with him about the mele. So if you are still kind of, I'm not sure what it's looking like. It does somewhat look like a rose, but on a bigger side of it, and of course in that gray color. So my mana'o on this part of the choreography is that I'm approaching that this cluster of rosettes, these bushes of hinahina. Okay, so nani vale, I'm gonna start with a ka'o. Ka'o is gonna be ilalo and iluna. All right, so I do a ka'o ilalo, iluna, and then I'm gonna kaholo to the right front 45. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so very light on the feet. Of course, body needs to be calm so that you can move and flow. Ready? And we go 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And we're gonna go into a left kaholo holo. We did that in the first verse on the right side. Now this kaholo holo is gonna be a little different because the levels are gonna change. We're gonna start with kaholo holo ilalo first on the left foot. So I go 1 and 2. Now I'm at my iluna. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? I'm gonna come back home all the time. Don't worry, I'll bring you back home. But my mana'o of that choreography is that I just see these bushes or lines of rosettes and hinahina up against the beach. Okay, so that's why I'm traveling, so I can see the growth along that area. All right, so nani vale, we try from the ka'o into the kaholo holo. And we go ka'o, ka'o, kaholo, 1, 2, kaholo holo, 1, and 2, and iluna, and iluna. Okay, so I'm quite a bit away from my home base. Again, don't worry about that. Okay, so nani vale, both arms are to the side. I'm gonna twist my body a little bit because if you don't, you're gonna be kind of stuck in your arms because they're both reached to the side. So twist a little bit from the diaphragm, you're to the side, and I see nani vale, I see all the beauty along this area. So I'm gonna do palms down, palms up. I turn both palms over, I keep the right one there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the idea is that you're drawn to this beauty of the place and the hinahina. Okay? So we go 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're gonna invite the feet in. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, from here, this is where you talk about the paka'apohe, the rosettes. Okay? Your hands are gonna cross one another without touching though, okay? I don't like to touch when I cross like this because your arms tend to lay and rest too much. You don't want it to rest. So I cross, but I'm at my right 45. I cross, and I do 2 flowers. Now I take it up, cross, same cross, but it's at a flat position now. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and again, my mana'o is that all the rosettes are just lined up. Okay, so we're doing a left over, 2, 3, 4. Now without doing the feet, if you notice, I'm kind of not swinging, but twisting my body a little bit because it's gonna help. If I do this motion, I'm gonna get really stuck if I don't use the upper body, okay? So I finished here. I'm gonna ilalo for my kaholo holo. I twist a little bit, twist, and flower. I twist again, twist, and flower, okay? Now again, don't get confused. The hinahina is not a pua, but again, always calling our flowers, our people, things that we adore, pua. That's just a word for admiration or care, okay? So let's try that whole thing. Nani vale into the kaholo holo. Here we go. And we go 1. Nani vale. Be drawn by that beauty and look at all the rosettes that are down below and a little higher. 2, 3, 4, and just like that, okay? Now from here, I'm gonna kaholo straight to the right side so that I can get back to my home line, right? So I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? I'm at my home base right now, but you're gonna come back a little bit off because you have to kaholo to the left, okay? So we're here, okay? We come back to the right, we do a 1, 2, 3, 4, small, kaholo, and kaholo. Okay, and the reason why I do the left side small is because you just came back home, you don't want to go back to the left side. That's the difficult part about doing a kaholo holo. When you want to really move, you got to somehow get back, and that means some of your feet movements are going to have to get smaller or bigger. Okay, so if I'm here, I'm going to travel 1, 2, 3, 4, small, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then I'm going to take you really to your home base, because what you're going to do is you're going to turn your body to the right 45, and you're going to kaholo down and up, down and up. Now, if you see my home line is right there, I'm going to kaholo down and up again to the left. 1, 2, and I'm home. And I go right into that kaholo, okay? That vamp, okay? That's very important to always end, where you started. Otherwise, you're going to go right off the stage, and you don't want to do that. All right, so the hands. This is where we get a little tricky. So we finished here with our rosettes. The left flower is going to stay. The right hand is going to wrap around it because it says okapua la lei. So I'm going to wrap, and then I'm going to open my lei. Okay, kind of a detailed motion for a song like this. That's a little quicker tempo. So I'm going to wrap, 2, 3, and show the lei. Okay, and all you're going to do is open the flower. Don't bloom it. Don't do anything. Just release the flower as if you were releasing breath. Okay, so I'm going to show you that. So we are here, yes? We finished here. You're going to kaholo to the right and kaholo to the right. Small kaholo. Left, lei, and. Just like that, okay? And then from here, you're going to do 2 flowers, how you ended just before this, okay? Kaholo down and up, down and up, and sweeping my hands to the side of me, right to the right hip, and I'm going to lift, and place it down and. Okay? Again, that motion is not talking about land or anything. It's just talking about the abundance of hinahina, all those rosettes all over the place, okay? So don't get confused, like, oh, are we talking about the beach now? We're on the beach, but we're still talking about that hinahina, okay? So we're going to do that whole second verse slowly without the music, and then we're going to try it with the music. Okay, here we go. Nani vale. And 1. Nani vale ke ike. Get light on your feet. Here we go. Kaholo holo. And 2. And kaholo holo. And 2, and this is where we go big on the right. Big on the right, 2, 3, small on the left. 1, 2, 3. Go back to the flowers. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and we vamp. Yes. And if you noticed, we're back on our home space and. Just like that. Okay? So let's try it with the music. Are you ready? Okay, keeping your body light, thinking of your setting. Beautiful ocean, hinahina. Here we go. Nani vale. That was the second verse. All right, now we're ready for the third verse. Okay? The third verse is ho'inana. So in the mele, Kuana writes ho'inana kawahine ha'aike kai. So when this woman sees the ocean, she gets excited. So for all of us wahine that are beach lovers, we do get excited because we know that there's going to be a sense of cleansing when we get into the water, or just rejuvenation from being on the beach. So we get excited, and that's what it's talking about, okay? So we're gonna get a little excited, but not too much, because we never wanna dance over the artist, okay? And you can hear him, ho'inana, yeah? So we're gonna get a little bit excited on that part. Okay, so ho'inana, our feet are gonna go over to the 45 front right angle, toes are facing front, okay? Not turning them at all, okay? So we're gonna go 45, ilalo iluna, ho'inana, kawahine. Our entire body is now going to turn to the left 45. We're going to kind of follow that same line and go back home and kaholo iluna ilalo, our home position. 3, 4. Good. Okay? So first one, toes are front. Second one, toes are to the 45. Super important. Okay? Let's try that again. Ho'inana. Ready? And here we go. 1. Ho'inana kava hine. From here, we're going to turn our entire body back to the front because we're going to kaholo ilalo on the right. Right kaholo, 2, 3, 4. Kaholo iluna on the left. Iluna and ilalo. Okay? You'll know why. I'll tell you why we're doing that ilalo kaholo in just a little bit. Okay? So ho'inana kawahine. Let's try that. Ready? And we go. 1. Ho'inana. Turn the whole body. Now turn the whole body front. Stay down. 2. Now up and down. Up and down and. Okay, so this part you kind of get a little bit of a workout because a lot of that down, that aiha'a kaholo is really going to get you. Okay, so ho'inana. Here we go. Ho'inana. Our hands are going to go right just above the piko, right below our breast. Okay? So we're going to lift up with some kind of joyful feel. Now, the lift of the shoulders is a part of the motion. So for those of you that kind of are uncomfortable with doing that, start practicing that. Okay? And when I do this, I always think of breath. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Okay, so we're here. I'm going to breathe in. I drop my shoulders. Left comes to the side. Right goes to the 45. I lift again. Okay? Now, I don't see you having trouble with this first one, but I think the second one always gets people. So really relax those shoulders and take it up with the breath. Okay? Breath is key for all these little things that people like to do. Breath is key. Okay? So let's try that with the feet and the breath and the hands. Ho'inana, get excited. Ready? And go. 1. Ho'inana. Okay, that was 2 lifts. Are you ready? One more time. You're like, that motion is gonna drive me crazy. You're gonna get it. Okay? Ho'inana kawahine. Ready? And we go. 1. Ho'inana. From here, the right hand is going to come all the way up to the kino position. It's going to wave to the back 45 one time. 1, press it down, kawahine. And I press it down right on the side of my thigh so that it doesn't get happy and doing its own thing. Okay? So I wave it and I pull it down. Okay? So if I'm here, I'm going to wave it, pull it down, and push down. It helps you. Okay, you have that that reverse movement of the push and the pull. Yeah. So let's try that one more time. Ho'inana, and we go. 1. Ho'inana kawahine. Okay, and here it says ha'a. So aiha'a, hands are standard kaholo motion, and you lift twice. 1. Ha'ike. From here, kai. Both hands go to the right angle 45. The left is farther, okay? And it's gonna, the shoulder is gonna help that because you're gonna reach and then you're gonna bring it to the front 45. So use your shoulder and down. Okay, can we do that? I think you can do that. Let's try it one more time from that part, okay? Ha'a. So we end here. Ha'a, we stay down. Lift and use your shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got that? Okay, let's try that. The 2 lines together. Let's see what we got. Okay? Ho'inana. Ready? Kahi, lua, kolu, and, 1. Ho'inana. Kawahine. The ocean makes me happy, of course. 1, 2, 3, and reach, and ocean, and. Okay? Keep really light on your feet. Think about the motions, but don't intensely think about it. Otherwise, these motions are not going to come out. They're not going to be natural looking or fluid looking. Okay? And don't give up. Okay? The next part of it. Nakale vili. All right? Nakale vili. Just when you thought you didn't have to do any more work, you're going to have to do more work. Because I need 2 lele uehe on the right and the left. Okay? Now, Let's try that lele uwehe, just to get the knees makakau. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, one on the right, one on the left. And all you're gonna do is left is gonna be to the 45, right, you're gonna touch that because you're veering, touch and open, touch and open. Really standard motion, simple motion so that the focus can be on that lele uwehe. Okay, you want a strong lele uwehe. Ready? And we lele uwehe. 1, 2, 3, uwehe. 1, 2, 3, uwehe. That's it. Okay, so coming out of that lele uwehe on both the right and the left, we're now gonna introduce some ka'o to that. And I wanna stop and kind of take our time on this part because overdoing it on this part might over accent the music, and you don't want that. And also the motion might get a little bit too much, too dramatic, and we don't want that, okay? So we're gonna take it from that lele uwehe, and I'm gonna show you that ka'o. Yeah, sorry, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I'm very mali in my lele uwehe because I'm going to ka'o, ka'o. So I'm already down, if you notice. I'm not gonna come back up and go back down. I'm at an ilalo position. So for those of us that are kind of out of shape, that's not a good part, but you're gonna get this. I know for sure. Okay, so we do our lele uwehe and we ka'o. 1 and 2, and now we lele forward, 3 and 4. Okay, so ka'o and lele are very similar. The only thing that's different is the lele is an actual step, but the hips and the knees are doing the same thing, okay? So that ka'o is in place. We go 1 and 2. Now we're lele forward and iluna, okay? Now that part, you wanna be in control of your body so it doesn't wiggle like this, okay? Very focused and centered, okay? The hands, all you're gonna do is touch your left shoulder. So you're gonna, on the inside of that, yeah? So I hold it on 2 ka'o. 1, 2, I'm gonna cross my left over. 3 and 4, okay? And if you notice, my elbows are very low and very loose because once you pick up those elbows, they become a bird. And you don't want to mimic that. You don't want to say that in the mele because that's not what the composer is saying. He's saying to wear the lei upon your shoulders, okay? So you want to be very still in the way you show this motion. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, keep that very low, all right? With the ka'o, okay? Keeping centered. Ready? Here we go. And nice and low, and lele, lele, and 2. Just like that, okay? So how kind of still my body was, even though my kikala were moving, super important, okay? So we're gonna try from the vili part with the lele uwehe into that part, all right? Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, nice and malie, and 1, and 2, lele, lele, and front, and we go 1, 2, 3, and 1, ho'inana, and 1, ho'inana, kava, hine, and aiha'a. Turn your shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody good from there? Lele uwehe, that's why. Pick up that elemu and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, ka'o, and we go touch, touch, and lele, and front, and we go holo. 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this verse is a lot of work, but I think you're ready for it. Let's try it with music. Nice and ho'inana. Ready? That was your third verse. Okay, so now we're ready for the fourth verse. And the best news is that you already know it. I only have to teach you one part because it's exactly like the first verse. Like a lot of Hawaiian mele, it just repeats or re-emphasizes the thought of who we're talking about or where we are, all of that. So we're gonna review that part so that you remember, okay? We do that semicircle, that's why that kaholo holo on the right foot, and that's down, up, up, down, okay? So we're doing a down, up, and down, okay? Again, on that right foot, continuous feet, okay? Mele though, mele ia kapuana, the left hand is to the side, and because my body starts at that 45, it's really to the back angle, and the right is at the mouth, okay? The elbow very close to the body. You're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and that left arm is gonna follow you, okay? One more time. We go 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Okay, let's add the feet. Ready? Mele, and here we go. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. We do lele uwehe. You already know this. Lele uwehe. We beckon e ani. You know this already too. 3, and we stay. 1, 2, no ku'unui kino. We go right. And to the back, and left. Ho'o malie. And we're po, but we're gonna try that one more time just so that we can remember. Mele. Here we go. And 1, mele, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Lele uwehe, and 1, 2, 3, and stay. Ku'unui kino, and right. And 2, ho'omalie, 1, 2, 3. And this is the ending. We go 1 to the right, 2, and 1 to the left, out to the 45, on my left foot with the right behind me on its toe, and we're dashing. We're leaving the beach and we're going home, okay? And what I mean by that is you're gonna totally walk away. Walk, walk, walk. Grab your ukana and head home, okay? So we're gonna try that part with the music, have fun with it, because in the mele, you enjoyed your day looking at the hinahina, thinking about someone that reminds you of the hinahina, enjoying the beach, ho'inana, and then time to go home, okay? Here we go. Okay, here we go. And I think you're ready to do the entire mele, okay? And I'm ready to do it with you. But before we do that, I want you to just kind of calm your body. Be excited within your na'o, but make sure your body's calm so that your dance is received by the music and the music by the dance, okay? And then I'm gonna take you to Moloka'i. We're gonna be on that beach, smelling the air, that salty air, feeling the breeze on our face, looking at the beauty of all the rosettes of hinahina across the beach. And we're just gonna feel the excitement in that we're at this beautiful place and ready to dance this beautiful mele. And I think you're ready. Here we go. Lei Pua Hinahina. Vale.
Nani vale ke aku kapaka pohe o kapu akahina hina
Ho'inana.
Ho'inana kawahine ha'i ke kai na kalevili ako mo iha I ka po'iwi
Meleia kapuana.
Meleia ka puana o ka hina hina e ani mahi nei no I ku'ulu I kino
Meleia kapuana.
Meleia ka puana o ka hina hina e ani mahi nei no I ku'ulu I kino
Grab your bags and go. So we enjoyed the beauty of Molokai. Of course, got closer to the Hinahina, and I so admire this mele because there's not a lot of mele written about Hinahina, nor for the island of Molokai. So it's nice to see that a new composer is writing mele for places and flowers and things that are not often written about. So please enjoy it. I don't want you to grab your ukana and go, but our time has ended, and I want to say mahalo nui and hope you come back and enjoy another mele with me. Aloha.